Starts as here we go. The red lights go out and away they go down and towards turn one. It's a great start from Slater, who's instantly on the defensive from Patuka, who immediately tries to go for the race lead as they go down now in towards turn number two. And it is a Birillard 1-2 as they go through there. One of the CRGs is up into second place. I think that's Tomtari, who is there into third place. He's managed to get the jump. Orlov did not get a good start as they're jostling through the chicane now, through turns 4, 5 and 6 as they make their way onto the back straight now. Spinners in the background, 3 karts. It is the, oh, that's not gone right. It's the 316, I think that's gone off on track, or it could be the 3-1. Yeah, it is Samuel Louier who has gone off, and he's going to try and get it restarted. He does get it restarted. He'll have to spin it round, but his final pretty much over before it starts. But for this way, for these drivers, it is still beginning as they make their way out of turn 13 in towards 14 and down the start-finish straight. It is a Birillard 1-2 as they make their way across the line. How will they line up as they go across the line? It will be Slater from Patuka. Here's the replay then of what happened. Constantine Refect, bit too much curb. Yeah, just clipped the rear of
Samalisto.
Is Samalisto. He's been caught up in so many incidents. Another kart just off there as well, but Samuel Louier, not the race he wants. So it's Slater from Patuka, Tonteri, Rem, Vasily Orlov, and Stolshimanis the top 7.
I've got to say, it was your tip, Anthony. Patuka, what a start that was from the second row of the grid. Almost too good in a way. Nearly ran into the back of his teammate, Freddie Slater. But here, in the early stages, lap 2, got to take it calmly at this stage of the race, because whilst they do have new Lecon spec tyres out there on the karts, it's a long, long run. When we were doing the timed qualifying on Friday, drivers were telling me that after even just 2 or 3 laps, they could feel the performance starting to drop away. A 6-minute session effectively became a 2.5-minute session back 2 days ago. But Freddie Slater continues to lead this race here at Sarno. Second place for Patuka, third for Tonteri, fourth for Rem. So he's had a good start as well as
that's Alex Powell.
Alex Powell. What a rotten weekend for the Jamaican driver. It's been problem after problem for the Prema racing machine. And once again, Alex Powell, such big hopes ahead of this weekend, was second in points after Suara. It is not going to be a good result here in the final.
I mean, what can you say? What can you say? He was looking so good going into this one. He was second in the championship going into this weekend, and it's all just fallen apart for him. An absolute shame. And that was in the final corner as well. So was that a potential move down the inside? There is Freddie Slater's mechanic there, just saying those little movements there. Keep going, little gap. Patuka's behind you, as well as Tonteri, Vasily, Orlov, Stolchimanis, who are still all there. Remember, they're all on the same tyres here, so everyone's got an equal opportunity on that. But of course, the chassis, the development for the drivers, you know, everything could be a little bit different in terms of the setup, but the equipment itself is relatively similar.
A couple of drivers coming through the order, Anthony. Egor Nosov has gained 8 places in the early standings of this race. It's just gone purple through sector number 1, but look out for him again. We've been talking about him all weekend. Jorge Pescador on the move again, up 9 spots to 13th in the opening 3 laps of this race.
Absolutely solid drive from them. They were saying that it was tricky to overtake around here, especially with all the rubber that's gone down. That certainly doesn't seem to be the case, as everyone seems to be doing exactly what they need to be doing. There you can see Tonteri's mechanic just giving him those gestures there, and Tonteri already all over the back here of Patuka for second place. You can see that Slater's starting to drive away here now, and Paavo Tonteri wants to get this move done. He can't do it as they go in towards the turn 6 hairpin. He might be able to do it when they go into the turn 9 hairpin, though. As they go down the back straight, he'll have the slipstream as they come onto it now. Through turn 8 they go. Onto that back straight, slipstream kicks in, but watch out because Vasily's just behind. There's the recovering Alex Powell, who is still out in circuit. He's keeping it going. Remember, anything could happen in the final. It's always good practice to keep going, and it is also good practice as well as they make their way through. No moves was happen then through turn number 9, but there's going to be a move here through turn 12, and down the inside goes Vasily. Daniel Vasily up into third place. Tonteri did not see that move coming in that corner, and to be honest, neither did I.
I can't believe what I've just seen there, mate. It's we've been talking about, oh no, you can't overtake through that part of the circuit. As here comes Stolchimanis down the inside. Nearly takes. Oh, that was very close with Tonteri. I thought we were going to see the two of them come together there, but Stolchimanis has already had one big moment through that portion of the circuit today. That was nearly another one. End of lap 5. We're on to lap number 6 now. Was that Magliano coming into the pits? I think it was. So his weekend is done. But I think the thing right now, as we have a look at that move from Daniel Vasile, this is where all these strips of rubber are, folks, and he just sticks it down the inside and goes, hello, I'm going to take this position, and making a Birrell ART 1, 2, 3 at the moment here in Italy. But what I'm seeing a repeat of right now, Anthony, is when we're looking at the 10-lap races, the qualifying heats, it was lap 4, lap 5, lap 6. That's when Slater used to really stretch his legs. He's doing the same again here. It's over to the rest of the field. It's over to his teammates in the Birrell ART stable to challenge him and reel him back in, because at the moment, the Briton is running away with this.
It really is. He's certainly showing why he deserves to win that championship, and at the moment, he is winning that championship by, well, 49 points. Nakamura Berta in the pit lane, the other Prema driver. Oh, I don't know what's happened to Prema this weekend here at Sarno, but it has not gone well. Both their drivers at the back of the grid, one of them now out of the race.
That's a real shame for Nakamura Berta, but a young driver who I'm sure will be back for more in future years. A big talent. Is Keen Nakamura Berta. It's a bit crazy. I remember watching him at Wilson Mill in cadet classes probably about 4 or 5 years ago, and seeing him here on the FIA Karting stage. A remarkable career so far that I'm sure will shine in the future. But sadly, his race is run.
Well, the race still continues, though. We're approaching half race distance here. Remember, they will have already completed a fair few kilometres around this circuit. The gap now open to nearly 1 second here. This is the battle effectively for second place that you're seeing. 4 karts involved. There's your race leader, however, Freddie Slater, who has certainly driven away from the field here, just doing exactly what he needs to do. But remember, it's just one of those things. Now, Alex Powell has received a warning flag. Now, not sure what that was for. Okay, here's the start. So good start then from everyone. Everyone gets away well. Crucially, the front of that grid, so no jump starts by the look of it. And this one, look at Patuka, just absolutely sweeping to the inside there, back to the outside, covering off any advance from anyone, and yeah, just absolutely sending it down the inside there. Absolutely textbook start. This was the, well, not the nice moment here for Louis, as he was spat into the air with contact with Samalisto. Luckily for both of them, they both continue on in this final. Crucially, at the back of the grid so far, 4 retirements. Nilsson, Andreasen, Magliano, and Nakamura Berta. Powell still out on the circuit.
We're on lap 9 of 20 here at the Circuito Internazionale di Napoli. Sarno for the final of the KZ2 category here in the European Championships. Freddie Slater continues to lead and is doing a great job at the front of the order. The chasing pack, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Patuka, Vasile, Tonteri, and Stolchemanis. 7/10 covering them at the moment, but they just don't seem to have an answer at the moment for the pace of Freddie Slater. I'm just looking at the sector times. They're actually pretty even, 54.0. And again, this is almost following the same pattern that we've seen in a lot of the qualifying heats, where Slater gets this 1.2 second gap and then just holds that till the end of the race. But of course, we're now going into a bit of the unknown. It's still another 10 laps of this race to go. Still very hard work out there, 34 degrees air temperature here in Italy at the moment. But it's hard to see at this stage for me, Anthony, where this chasing pack are going to be able to find the pace necessary to catch up to the race leader.
Well, yeah, that is the thing. I mean, the biggest question is that, remember, a lot of these drivers are still fighting for their spot in the championship. Remember, the top 8 still fluctuating. Daniel Vasile is still second in the championship with his current position that he is in. He's got 101 championship points from Christian Patuka, who's only got 88, so he's got a lot more work to do there to try and gain those positions. But, I mean, he's second. He can't do much. So that's probably the best result he's going to get, because he's not going to be able to catch Slater at this rate. Unless anything happens, we are still half race distance. Soltemanis is there in 4th, still in the championships. Oh, dear. And that looks like a Cali kart driver to me, and that looks like Jorge Pescador. Is that Jorge Pescador?
I think it might be.
He's tumbling down the order.
Well, what a shame for Jorge Pescador. He's been, for me, one of the most entertaining drivers this weekend because he's been overtakes galore, but his final ends at the halfway point. Oh, look at this down the inside by Vasile. He's had enough of sitting behind his teammates and gone, right, let's get on with this. Up to P2. Batuka agrees. So, okay, that may have been almost coordinated. Semi-coordinated, I'll go with. But now Batuka is going to sit behind Vasile. Now, this is always a very interesting stage of a longer race in karting, Anthony, because it's the argument maybe that Vasile's got a bit more pure pace and the whole pack will move a bit quicker if he's at the front punching the hole for the other drivers behind, perhaps?
I mean, maybe. I mean, the overtake came quite quickly, but Batuka's here on the defensive straight away. Tonteri tried to go for the move, and Stolchamanis has gone around the outside with that block pass. So Stolchamanis has gained there, but crucially, Batuka here, I think, may have been feeling like he was holding up the rest of the pack. There is Jorge Pescador, yeah. And out of this race, he will sit the rest of the race on the sidelines in the Marshall post. Definitely a shame for him. Big check over the shoulder there from Stolchamanis. Just to see Tonteri, who tried to go for a move on Batuka and himself loses a position. So he will not like that. Rem is still there in 5th place. Maxim Orlov, I'm surprised about Maxim Orlov. He has been lightning off the starts, and he is currently sitting in P7, 4 seconds off the race leader.
Yeah, that would surprise me as well. It's not what we've seen so far this weekend. Just having a look at the sector times, and Vasile has just done a personal best through sector number 1 at 18.375, marginally quicker than his teammates 2 seconds down the road, Freddie Slater. Let's have another look at this moment with Tonteri. So a little bit of contact there with Batuka, and then Stolchamanis, whose reading of situation this weekend has been on point. Yeah, damage on the rear bumper of Batuka's kart there, but Stolchamanis, exemplary racecraft that I've seen from the Latvian for a good number of years. He read that, and there's going to be a moment here where I'm going to be able to have a chance around the outside, and he got it absolutely spot on for 4th place.
Yeah, there you can see that the rear bumper has actually sorted itself out on Batuka. There's Alex Powell, and he is certainly moving his way back up the field. He's still 30th. He's just managed to get past Samuel Luye, so he's actually now into 29th place. Still going strong out on circuit, showing good pace as well. Current fastest lap, though, is going to Artem Sevrukin, and that comes with a championship point as well, but he does not sit within the top 8 after no points scored from Zuera. But certainly still a nice thing to get is a cheeky little championship point here. Batuka, I think, is struggling now. You can see that he's got the inside line. He's struggling. Yeah, he's going to have to start defending now. I mean, everyone's all over the back of him. Stolchamanis has tried to go down the inside, and look at the train that's starting to form here. Batuka is going to have to defend like his life depends on it if he wants to get a podium. And Tonteri, you can see here, is starting to get a little frustrated now. He's already tried to get the move done on Batuka earlier on, and it didn't work out. And Christian Batuka actually receives a warning flag for his troubles now, so he's going to have to be careful here. There is still a long way to go in this race. Stolchamanis checks over the shoulder just to see what's happening, and it looked to me there that Tonteri was going to send one down the inside once again through turn number 9, but it's all kicking off behind. Rem, Orlov and Sevrukin still there as well, and behind him, Nozov's there, 9th place. And this is the overtake for P2 round turn number 9. Very nicely timed. Just down the inside through turn 9. No drama there whatsoever. Teammate saying, OK, let's keep going. Yeah. But he's driven away. And who's that stopped?
Rem. It's Maxim Rem. Oh, dear. And the German driver with such high hopes ahead of this final. The Leclerc by Lennox Racing entry is out of the final here at Sarno. Walked away. We won't have a long walk back to the paddock because there's pit entry, but what a shame for a young driver who has been fantastic this weekend. It's one of the fastest drivers in qualifying. Sadly, his race ends 5 laps early.
Now, what happened there? Because he was battling away with Sevrukin, Noves, Orlov's dropped down 2 as well, so something tells me that he may have had a coming together with Maxim Orlov. Obviously, I don't know, we've not seen it, so we can't make a call on that one. But certainly he was in that fray behind this battle here on your screen of Batuka and Stolchamanis. And Patuka is under some severe pressure here. He's only got 3 laps left of this race to try and hold on to that last spot on the podium. Stoltemanis wants it here. What would it mean for the Latvian to get onto the podium here in the European Championships in KZ2? And I've got to say, the silverware, if that's not a temptation alone, it should be, because, well, I mean, he's on the back straight now, and he can just see that position, but Patuka is holding on to it very, very well.
He's had such a step up in performances from Suera this weekend as Thomas Stoltemanis. It would be a very well-deserved podium if he could get it, but it would also be a very well-deserved podium for Christian Patuka. A bit of news further down the order. Samuel Louye, eagle-eyed viewers may have seen him pull into the pits when he got overtaken by Alex Powell. He has now retired, as has David Lewinsky. That's a real shame. David's had a great weekend, and Robert Kinvater is also out of this race. Yeah, this is what I expected. Longer race, tougher race on the drivers and the karts, and it's a final. We are seeing a bit of attrition here, but less than 3 laps to go. Freddie Slater leads now by 2 seconds. It's staying stable at 2 seconds ahead of Daniel Vasile. Can Christian Patuka hold on here for 3rd place in what would be a superb weekend for BYD, because they are 1, 2, 3 as it stands. Thomas Stoltemanis for Energy Corsa trying to break that stranglehold on the podium. Investigation flag out, Anthony, for Maxim Orlov.
Well, that would certainly brave wind on what happened there earlier on with Maxim Rem. But like you were saying, with those laps slowly tumbling down here, your man at the front on your screens, Freddie Slater, last lap board will be out this time for him as he makes his way through turns number 2 and 3. There's 2nd place, there's the battle for 3rd, and that is still raging on. Stoltemanis not able to find a gap at this moment in time as he keeps searching for one. There, the rubber that is being planted down on the circuit, it makes it even harder for the drivers to get the move done, and continuously Patuka is looking over the shoulder, and there's another Sodi going slowly there. It is Thomas Imborg, and the CBB team have had a nightmare themselves as well. So many retirements in the Superheat earlier on as well, and just not going their way. They were leading the team's championship as well in KZ2, where Sodi. Certainly they've had a bit of a challenge on this one. Final lap time then, and Freddie Slater is clear by 2.1 seconds as Imborg just cuts the track there to just bring it back to the pit lane. I mean, what can you say about this young British driver? It's his 1st year in the gearbox categories in KZ2. 14 years of age. He's racing in several things around the world, cars and karts alike. And this weekend, it has been an absolutely dominant performance from him. He put it on pole. He led the championship going into this weekend. He won 4 of his 5 qualifying heats. He only came 5th in one of them, and even that made him frustrated, with him banging the steering wheel and wanting more out of the kart. But now, here, out of the final corner in southern Italy, he's not just a race winner, he is the European champion in KZ2. Freddie Slater for the United Kingdom wins here in Italy, and what a result it is for the young British driver. A bright future is ahead for this young man. But what a result. Vasile finishing in 2nd place from Patuka, but Freddie Slater, he gets it.
26 years Great Britain has waited for a European champion in an FIA gearbox category. The wait is over. Freddie Slater is champion. He celebrates with his teammates. It is a Birrell art 1, 2, 3, and surely they are going to rocket to the top of the team's classification as well. Perfecto from Slater.